which I think, well, to me, this place can explain a lot about what's special about Wildwork's approach to education. We follow a philosophy that really it comes under the umbrella of what's called outdoor education. And there are other concepts included within that, such as place-based education and experiential learning. Learning in the outdoors, though, it's really great for two reasons, I feel. One is that when you are outside in nature in a really nice environment, provided that you're not hungry or cold or tired or wet, if you're nice and cozy and comfy and satisfied like I am at the moment, and the fresh air, beautiful surroundings that you're in, it's a very stimulating environment as opposed to being inside in a crowded, overheated room with no fresh air. So I am in a place that you just feel alive and it's very fresh. So if I want to teach people, I want to have people paying attention and engaged and stimulated by what they want to learn about. So bringing them into the outdoors makes that much easier. Then secondly, if I wanted to teach people today about the seashore, or about woodlands, or about the geologic history of Cork Harbour, right now I'm surrounded by what you could call textbooks. I don't have any books, but nature is providing me with the materials that I might need to be able to teach people. So down here you've got the seaweeds, and I'm in a kind of a sea cave type of area, and out along in that direction out in front of me I'm looking out onto Cork Harbour. I can see different weather patterns at play right now with the way the sun and wind is interacting with the water. It gives me an opportunity to teach people about wind and weather or anything along those lines. There's a whole range of bird life. Just earlier we saw red-breasted mergansers, a special bird that a lot of people might have never seen in Cork Harbour unless of course they're a bird watcher. And the seaweed itself, there's all kinds of interesting things about it. One being that it's edible, so we can learn about nutrition, and people get the chance to actually taste this, and it helps give people a memory, because often when we're learning, in the moment, if the teacher asks at the end of class, do you all know that now, can you answer this question? You might be able to answer the question, but years on, do you still know the information you were taught about? Whereas if we can experience what we're learning through taste, sight, sound, it makes it all that more easier to remember about it. You can hear little dripping noises coming down out of the soil. Basically there's a whole load of kind of clay, earthy material. I would say that it's glacial deposit material, and there's water filtering down through the forest, through that rocky, earthy material, and coming out as droplets. If you want to learn about how to filter water and clean water, it's all right there. Though they're little drops, I can collect some of that now, and I can taste it in my water bottle. Or I can take a more primitive approach and just use my hands, or cup them, like our hunter-gatherers might have done. Our ancestors, I should say. And even thinking about the past and the history of the people who used the land, this place is a wonderful area to teach people about a topic such as that, because right in here now I have food available to me from the seaweed, seashells outside. I've got shelter right up over my head, and this is a cold day, would you believe, but there's not a bit of wind or rain or anything in here. I have fresh water. I have loads of the things that I need. The same things that I'm sure the ancestral people of this land used once upon a time. What I didn't point out, and this stuff feels amazing here, is that we've got bedrock here, and above that then there's a layer of clay deposit, and above that then there's the material that I assume was put here by glaciers. Again, we can learn about glaciation and other things to do with geography. But the clay don't know if there are any artists there watching this, but this is, I know people who do clay work, and this is exactly the sort of stuff that they use. It's perfect. And it feels lovely. And people make stuff out of clay. And again, what a great way to help people to learn through creativity. Make something. I'm no artist, but right now I'm going to pretend I've just made a clay worm. But through the sensations of tasting, hearing, feeling, it just makes things more interesting, and I think easier to absorb in terms of learning or teaching. And then this place is at the base of a woodland. And sometimes when we're trying to teach people, we might be working with people who actually have no interest in learning at all. They just couldn't care less. But when you come to somewhere interesting like this, something can just capture their imagination. So maybe that tree that's up above me, which was blown over many, many years ago, but has changed its growth direction and is now shooting up into the air. But it's forming this amazing shape. It looks, the word I'd use, it just looks really cool. And I could imagine a bunch of young people coming out to this area with me. If they saw that, they'd want to know all about it. And maybe then someone might want to know what type of tree it is. And now you have the moment where you can tell them a little bit and teach them a little bit about that tree. And my point here is that, isn't that so much better than having brought those young people into some classroom and sitting them all down and asking them to take out their books or look at this screen or whatever else? Bring them out here and give them a really enjoyable, memorable experience, and you will provide them with, I think, a far more powerful learning experience in doing that. And that's what outdoor education is really. Coming out into the outdoors and using nature itself as the medium for learning.